Brooks, and I'm going to be your clinician while you're here at our facility. So today I want to go over our confidentiality. So I want you to know that whatever you say when we are talking together will stay between us, except for there are a few provisions. So if you are hurting yourself, then I need to tell someone. I'm a mandated reporter. And if you are planning on hurting somebody else and you tell me that, I have to report that also. And if you are hurting yourself, then I also need to report that. And being in our facility, sometimes some of your files, your parole officer and the judge will be able to look at some of those things, but not all of those things. And so I just want to make sure, do you have any questions about your confidentiality? Do you understand that?
So you're going to tell the judge?
Only if it pertains to your case, and especially in terms of release. So some of the things that I would share with the judge are how you're progressing in your skills, and maybe some of the things that you are learning here and that you are excelling at, because those are things that he wants to know, because he wants to know if he can release you back out into the community if you're still going to be at risk.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, so do you understand your confidentiality?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So today I'm just going to ask you a few quick questions as we do our intake. What is your full name?
Morgan Lee.
Okay. And how old are you, Morgan?
I am 20.
Okay. And what is your marital status?
Single.
Single. Okay. And do you have any children?
No.
Okay. And what's your level of education?
GED.
GED. Okay, excellent. You're already far ahead of some of our students here. What is your occupation? Do you have an occupation? No? Okay. And so let's talk about your committing offense. Why are you here? What did you do?
Don't you have that all on paper?
I do, but it's always good to hear you explain it, because what I have on paper is someone else's perception, not yours. So I want to get your perception of what happened and why you're here.
Well, I guess I was drinking.
Okay.
A bunch.
Drinking. So by a bunch, what does that look like to you? What does that mean to you?
I don't know. A few drinks here and there.
A few drinks here and there. Okay. And what kind of alcohol were you drinking? Was it beer or was it vodka? Somewhere in between, like coolers? I mean, there are different levels of severity there.
It was just kind of whatever I got my hands on at the time.
Okay. Okay. And so do you know what it was that you got your hands on?
Beers, liquors. I mean,
Okay.
it just kind of was what my friends had at the time.
Okay, so it's just kind of whatever was handed to you.
Yeah.
That's what I hear you saying. Okay, great. And then, so what else were you up to? Why else are you here, do you think?
Well, they say that I was graffitiing walls, but I just spray painted a little cute picture downtown.
Okay. And so, does your family own that building?
Well, no.
No? Okay.
But there's a whole bunch of other artwork there.
Oh, okay. So you were just putting your art on the wall?
Yeah, there was an empty space. I didn't see what was wrong with it.
You were just filling the empty space. Good. Okay. So did you realize that graffitiing is illegal when you were doing that?
Well, I wouldn't call it graffitiing necessarily. It was just a painting.
Oh,
it was just
painting.
Self-expressing.
Oh,
I wanted to contribute to the wall. I mean, everybody else did it. I didn't see what the problem was.
Okay. Well, I can see your thinking on that. And so then what happened after that? You just did a little spray painting and all heck broke loose, or what happened?
Well, I was with a couple of friends, and we'd been drinking a bunch, and we left downtown and went over to a friend's house, and I guess some of my friends left me, and I ended up in a house that I didn't know where I was at, and I had a couple drinks and
So you had some more drinks.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because the guy at the house like was giving us shots and
Did you even know him?
no.
No, just some guy at some house you didn't even know. Your friends had abandoned you. And then, okay, so you had drank and then you went to this place. You drank some more.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened?
Well, the next part's kind of blurry. I just kind of remember waking up and walking home, and I was with my friends the next day, and a couple of my friends got up and left, but I was with my friend Megan at the time, and I was pretty hungover. I was so hungover.
Okay.
I had such a bad headache, and I was talking about the night before, and then all of a sudden this officer came up and looked at me, and I knew that they were coming for me. I knew it, and I
You
figured
just
it
had
was
that feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got up and started running. I didn't know what else to do, and I didn't like how the girl grabbed me, and so
Was it pretty rough?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, she like twisted my arm.
Wow, that seems a little bit rough. And so what did you do?
Tried to push her off.
You tried to push her off? Okay. Well, I do have some pictures of that were submitted with your paperwork from law enforcement, and do you want to take a look at that and tell me what you see? There you are, and you're graffitiing a little bit. You said just a little corner, but does that look like a little corner to you?
Did somebody give you that off my Facebook?
This is from law enforcement. This is what was submitted with their paperwork.
Okay, it may have been a little bit bigger than.
A little bit more than maybe you thought, but you know, if you're having a blackout,
It looks
it's
so
hard to
good though. Look
remember.
at that.
I know,
That's
it's
beautiful.
It is really, really nice, and you know,
It took a long time to do.
maybe something we can work on is you know, maybe getting you enrolled in art classes or something once you're done from here. It seems like you have a lot of artistic ability, and so I also want you to look at when the officer was arresting you. This is from the camera that was there. Maybe you were a little involved in that. Looks like you were trying to bite her.
I had a really bad headache.
I see.
You know,
The hangover. Okay, well, so some of the things that we're going to talk about while you're here, while you're with us in this facility, in our lockdown facility, is we're going to be talking about DBT skills. And so those are dialectical behavioral therapy. And so this is going to be teaching you the things that are before your meltdowns. This is the behavior that gets you in trouble. We're going to look at what goes on before that. And we're also going to look at ways that you can change that and be aware of yourself, so that hopefully when you leave our facility, you can enroll in some classes and you can use these skills to avoid behavior that gets you in trouble, and that you can make a life worth living. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm here.
You're here.
I guess I'll be open to it, but I can't guarantee it's going to work for me.
Okay. Well, we'll sure give it a try, and we'll work on that together. Hopefully all of our skills can work for you if you choose for that to happen.
Okay.
Okay.
I am open to trying it.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, it was so great to meet you today, and we will work on our DBT skills, and we'll get you your schedule.
Thank you.
Hi. Thanks for joining us today. Today we are going to start our class for DBT skills, and DBT stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. And so part of what we do here is we teach you DBT skills so that you can learn when you go out after you leave here how to handle and how to manage the situations that you come across, and how to make a life worth living. Today is our first one, and we're going to learn 4 different skills.
The first one is core mindfulness or focusing skills. Mindfulness skills are specific behaviors that together make up the basics of focusing the mind in the present moment without judgment and without attachment to the moment. And so that's what we'll go ahead and cover today. Core mindfulness skills. Core mindfulness skills are taking control of your attention and your thoughts. So that brings us right into this exact moment. We're not thinking about yesterday. We're not thinking about tomorrow. We are here now in the moment, okay? And we talk about states of mind in our core mindfulness. We have our reasonable mind, which is our thinking, our strategies, very, very common sense. And then we have our emotion mind, where we're freaking out about something, we're stressed, we're overreacting, we're all caught up in the emotions of it. And where we really want to be and where we really want to focus our skills is in what we call wise mind. Now, wise mind is in the middle of emotion mind and reasonable mind. Okay, so our core mindfulness, we're going to use some skills where we are going to focus on not judging. And so what we are going to do is we're going to see, but we're not going to evaluate. We're going to take a non-judgmental state, just the facts. We're not going to label things as bad. We're not going to label them as terrific. If we see a look on someone's face, we're not going to say they are crabby. We're not going to attach a story to it. What we're going to do is we're just going to look at someone's face or at a situation and just state the facts. So, for example, we see someone walking down the street and they have a look on their face and they sit down on a park bench. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, would you look at that ugly guy? Look at the terrible look he has on his face. He must be so crabby, so ornery, in such a bad mood. And look at the way he just sits on that bench. He's just a lazy guy. Okay, that's attaching a lot of stories and a lot of judgment to just some simple facts. So the simple facts could be, there is a man walking down the street. I see his eyebrows pulled down. I see his eyes squinted and his face is turning down. And I see him walk to a bench and sit down. So we're just saying what we're observing. We're not attaching any stories to it. Okay? And another thing that we can do is accept each moment as it comes. Sometimes bad things come, sometimes good things come, and we just accept them as they come, like the waves of the ocean coming over our feet. We don't try to control the ocean or tell it to avoid our feet or to hit our feet in a certain way. We just accept it as it comes. So this week we're going to be talking about interpersonal effectiveness, and there are 3 main skills that we are going to learn, and each one has an acronym that we are going to associate with that skill to help us remember the steps. The first one is the FAST skill. The FAST skill is, the F means be fair. So be fair to yourself and to the other person. The A stands for no apologies, okay? Don't over apologize for your behavior. Don't apologize for making a request. If you have a need, that's totally legitimate. You don't have to say, I'm sorry, but I need to use the bathroom. Okay, it's totally legitimate. And don't apologize just for being you. And however, this also includes don't under apologize. If you have wronged someone, make sure that your apology is adequate and validating. Okay, and the S stands for stick to values. Stick to your values and your opinions. Don't sell out in order to fit in. Okay, and don't avoid saying no. Be truthful. Don't tell a lie. Don't exaggerate. Make sure that you are stating the facts and that you are telling the truth. Okay, our second skill is our Dear Man skills. This is the D stands for describe. So you describe the current situation by your observations. Tell the person exactly what you're reacting to and stick to the facts. Next, we're going to E, express. We're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to talk about why we are having these emotions. The next one is A, assert. So assert yourself by asking for what you want or saying no clearly. The R is for reinforce. So add a reward ahead of time by explaining the consequences. The M is for to stay mindful. Okay, so when we stay mindful, we are focused on our objectives. We can continue to say no if that is what is necessary. The A is for appear confident. So even if we're feeling a little scared, let's stand up straight. Let's be confident. Let's act like we're feeling confident, because then that way we tap into our own power. Okay, and the N is for negotiate. Be willing to give, to get. This is where our collaboration skills come in. You get what you want, I get what I want, and our relationship is preserved.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
So we're here to talk today a little bit about your community pass that you went on. Now, community passes are really important because now you're on your 30 day. You've got less than 30 days until you're out.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I'm so
That's
excited.
awesome. And so you've been on a couple of passes so far. You've been on some home passes and you just recently went on a community pass. And so I want to talk about that with you, how that went with you, and if you had any triggers that happened and how you handled those. So tell me what you did on your community pass.
Well, I decided to go and start searching for a job just
Oh,
because
that's good.
I'm going to be needing one of those when I get out of
Sure.
here. I mean, I don't want to live at my parents' house again. Definitely want to try to live on my own this time around and do it right.
Okay.
My community pass was a little rough this time.
Okay, well, tell me what happened.
I ran into one of my old friends.
Wow, how did that go?
You know, it was really, really rough. I was walking down an alleyway to go in to apply at this event center, a concert house. Have you heard of it? It's called the Knitting Factory.
Sure.
Well, I went to go see what positions were open there, and Megan just happened to be sitting on a balcony, sitting there with a drink.
Wow.
Yeah, she...
What are the odds?
I know, and she had just turned 21, so she was asking me to come drink with her, and
Wow. How did that make you feel?
I was extremely mad at first. Like, I
Okay.
saw her, and I just got this anxious feeling in my chest, and
Okay.
I really had to try to be mindful of my situation with her, just because she caused a lot of friggin' problems for me.
Okay.
I mean, I've held a lot of blame to her for why I'm in here and exposing me to alcohol and just really trying to tempt me to not stick to my values. And I had to really, really get in touch with myself. And I mean, it was so hard. My palms were all clammy and I was having shortness of breath, and I was trying not to shake. I was trying to be composed because I didn't want to scream at her. I just wanted to yell at her, but it's not her fault that I started drinking. I mean, even though she gave me the bottle, she didn't put it up to my mouth and make me drink.
Okay. So that sounds like you were using one of your skills in that. Which one do you think that is? Where you were aware of yourself, aware of your physical reactions going on? What is that skill that you've learned?
That was my mindfulness.
Very good. That's
Yeah.
right. So good job using that skill. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
That's hard work, especially when you're exposed to a trigger that you weren't expecting to happen at all.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
the nature of our triggers, is they come up out of the blue and we don't know when they're coming. So what did you do next? Here you are having all of these feelings. What did you do with that?
Well, I used my fast skills.
Excellent.
So it was really hard during the moment just because
Absolutely.
I felt like I was in my emotional brain versus my wise mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be fair to myself in this situation, and apologized to myself for getting so upset at her. I mean, I didn't apologize to her, but I had to be really, really gentle with myself because I've worked so hard.
You have.
And these, like you said, these situations are going to happen. I'm going to have to figure out how to be okay with it and be okay with myself to not go to that breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And I stuck to my values being that I wasn't going to drink, I wasn't going to give in to peer pressure. And
Good job.
I was truthful about my weaknesses with myself. I was able to tell myself that it was going to be okay and that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
You can do this. Good job. So what was your conversation like with her? Did you talk to her about what was going on inside of you? Or did you just say, I'm not going to drink with you? Or how did you handle that verbally?
Well, like I said, I was really mad at her when I first saw her. I just wanted to scream and yell at her, and she had no idea what I've gone through. She had no idea that I got arrested. Even if she did, she acted like she didn't.
And here you've been in our locked facility all this time.
Yeah. Well, I was kind to her regardless. I mean, as hard as it was, I was still kind to her. I just kind of said, no thank you. I can't be here right now. I have to leave. I actually have to be somewhere.
Good, because you really did. That's being truthful. You really did have somewhere to be. You were applying for a job. So good job handling that. Something that you might consider is writing her a letter explaining how you feel and why, so that you're doing it in the safety of not in that moment, not in that trigger moment, but where you can think about what you would like to say to her and maybe explain to her why you're not going to be drinking with her anymore. The things that it has caused for you, the consequences that it has caused for you. And you can choose to send that, or you can choose to just keep that for yourself. But that way, if you ever run across her again, then you have that in your mind already, kind of a script of what you can say if that happens. Or any of your other friends that are going to want you to go drinking with them and to do other things that are going to get you in trouble.
Kind of like a safety plan almost.
Absolutely. Relapse prevention plan, RPP. Excellent. Okay, so what else happened? How did the job interview go?
I actually didn't go to the site afterwards. I felt like I was too emotionally just anxious and upset over what had happened and seeing her that I decided to go sit down by the river and just kind of put my toes in the river and just focus on my breathing and focus on all the progress I made. I did a lot of self-soothing. I sat there and listened to the river, and I got really in touch with my senses. I felt the water on my toes, and I felt the earth beneath me, and I felt the wind on my skin, and I just tried to smell the river water as it went by, and I just tried to really get in touch and ground myself. And
good job.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm really proud of you that you used your self-soothe skills. It sounds like you used a lot of your senses there.
Yeah.
And that's excellent because that really helps bring you back to the moment. How did you feel after you did that?
A lot more calm. I didn't want to go drink because right after I saw her, I wanted to go and buy a couple beers or find a couple beers, just get them in my hand. I just wanted to go and chug away everything I felt, but I had to not do that because it was going to jeopardize way too much.
Good job. I'm really proud of you. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of work to apply those skills in a trigger situation. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
This is something that, with your permission, we can put in your file for the judge to review because he'll want to see that you are using those skills and that you're not going to drink again and that you are going to stay true to your values of being clean.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That would be really good.
Good job. Anything else that you would like to talk to me today about regarding your home pass or your community pass or coming back here afterwards?
No, I don't think so. I'm just really excited to get out, and I really want to do it right. I don't want to ever come back here again. I mean,
I don't blame
no
you.
offense, you guys have been really awesome. I was so resistant to being in this program originally, but now I see the benefit of it, and I mean,
you've done great work, and we're really proud of you. We're really excited to see what happens when you get out and what kind of a life you make for yourself. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.